As we get closer to wrapping this series up, there's still a number of players we've yet to discuss. Today, we're going to be talking about one of my guys in the 2024 NFL Draft, and a player who's flying way under the radar in my opinion, and that is Myles Harden, the cornerback from South Dakota. A player who I really like, and I think he showed some really solid potential at the cornerback position. How high does he end up getting taken in the 2024 NFL Draft? That's what we will be talking about in today's video. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. We have done videos on over 150 NFL Draft prospects, so be sure to go check those out. And without further ado, let's take a closer look at Myles Harden. Harden has been a pretty solid player over the last few seasons for South Dakota. In 2022, he allowed 278 yards and a touchdown on 46 targets. He also posted 3 interceptions on the year. The production was a bit down in 2023 as he allowed 349 yards and 3 touchdowns on 30 receptions, but he has a lot of the intangibles and tools I really value at the cornerback position, and is a player who tested extremely well at the NFL Combine, and I think he's moving up boards pretty rapidly. Many people see Harden as a slot corner at the NFL level. He's 5'11", 195 pounds, and he's played a mixture of outside and slot reps for South Dakota. I think he has the frame to play on the outside, but in the NFL he may end up being a slot guy, but I love that he offers that versatility. Harden has excellent change of direction and movement abilities, and it's uncanny. He has elite route recognition, and he can turn his body in some really impressive ways. He has great footwork, flexible hips, and he shows some really solid closing speed as well from time to time. His 20-yard shuttle was an incredible 3.98 seconds, and he shows some elite movement abilities at the cornerback position. Harden is a sure tackler as well, and he does a nice job in run support. He comes downhill, shows some solid quickness, and is a pretty hard hitter. He also does a good job of knocking balls loose in coverage, and he's shown some nice ball production, with 6 interceptions and 6 pass deflections over the last couple of seasons. One thing I will say about Harden is he is inconsistent at tackling in the backfield at times, and when he makes contact, he usually brings the player down. But there are times where he takes poor angles, so I'd like to see that be a little bit more sound. Harden has suffered a couple of lower body injuries in each of 2021 and 2022, which caused him to miss half the season. His medicals are a bit of a red flag and something that could cause teams to worry. One thing that was pretty interesting to me was that Harden was not very good in press man coverage. In off man coverage and in zone, he did really well, but in press he struggled for a couple of reasons. For one, he wasn't super physical. He didn't love to get his hands on the receiver, and he didn't have a super strong initial punch at the line of scrimmage. So from there, he's asked to rely on his speed, which is also something I wasn't in love with. I think his closing speed is solid, but when asked to match up with faster players down the field, I had some concerns. He ran a 4.5 40-yard dash, which isn't bad, but it also isn't ideal for a position that is so reliant on speed. He's very fluid in terms of his movement abilities, but when asked to match up one-on-one in press coverage, I had some concerns. I'm a big fan of Myles Harden. He's been a my guy in this draft class for a few months now, and I absolutely love his fluidity, his ball skills, and his willingness to defend the run. I would like to see a little bit more tenacity, and obviously he isn't the fastest player in the world, but he is my number 24 cornerback in the draft class. I think he has upside to be a really nice day 3 steal, but I am concerned about a couple of areas for him at the next level. Based on his size and his abilities in man-to-man coverage, I think it's safe to say he's going to be a primary slot corner at the NFL level. His run defense, his abilities as a mover in space, his route recognition, I think all of that equates to him being a solid slot corner in the NFL, and I think he can provide some really good value there. My comparison for Myles Harden is Chicago Bears cornerback Kyler Gordon. Gordon is not the biggest guy, he isn't the fastest guy, but he has the flexibility to play in the slot and on the outside, and is a very fluid mover. I think that's what Myles Harden's going to be at the NFL level. Maybe not the most physically imposing player, but a guy with great ball skills and who sticks to receivers in coverage. Myles Harden is my guy. He's an awesome mover, he has good ball skills, is a strong tackler, and I like a lot of those things about him. The speed and injuries are a bit of a concern, but ultimately, I believe that Myles Harden will be a 5th round pick in the 2024 NFL Draft.